Welcome to the Dance to Heal podcast. I'm your host, Jenny C. Cohen. Join me as I share stories of how life is a dance. I'm a cancer survivor, mother of two, and an award-winning performer who found that mind and body connected movement is vital to healing in a way that is safe and tailored to your life. I created Dance to Heal Wellness featuring the Spotlight Confidence Formula and also authored the best-selling award-winning book, Outside In Recovery, Dancing My Way Back to Myself After Breast Cancer. I will bring new ways to help you on your dance journey and healing path. Are you ready to move? Dance to Heal starts now. Oh my gosh, audience members, you are in for such a special treat. Laura the Stress Commando is in the house. Welcome, Laura.
Oh, hi, Jenny. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
This is the reason why I stand when I'm recording podcasts, so then I can stand my feet instead of bobbing up and down in my chair.
I love that. I love that.
All right, so audience members, Laura's here specifically to address something that I want you to know. If you're on this podcast, you're meant to hear this message. Are you ready? Your freedom is within grasp. Your freedom is within your grasp. Why? Because we're at an age now where anyone can open up a store and sell something that they make, thought up, produce. However, we're in an age now, there's so many choices. Like, where do I put it on? Etsy? Do I make it and sell it on eBay? Like, where do I put it? Oh my gosh, what is this AI thing? I'm overwhelmed. There are 5 versions of it. What's this Grok thing? Oh no, I'm going to shut my computer and go hide and watch Netflix. Right, Laura?
Yep, absolutely. I hear it often.
So before Laura gets into the idea of even what do we do if you've always been curious if you could make something that someone would want to buy, before we do that, I want you to go into the description for, oh Laura, I forgot to ask for that bit.ly for your second Fridays with you. So I'm gonna tell you the link in a second, and you can always go to the description too, where you can sign up for Laura's absolutely free. Folks, this is worth like thousands of dollars, okay? You will be put on a VIP list where you will get a way to log on with Laura every second Friday of the month. And that will be at 10:30 Central Standard Time. And it's when Laura can go rogue. You can be there and just be a fly on the wall and listen to what's being talked about, or you can ask a question like, I've always wanted to sell painted matches. Is there a way to sell it? How would I start? And she will go rogue and help you launch your business in painted matches.
Absolutely.
All right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love the phrase came from a client. We love it when Laura goes rogue because I'm an idea factory. I've been told that. And I want to put it together. Instead of plan to do, I want you to get to doing. So let me go rogue. Let me leverage AI. Let me show it to you and then give it to you. And then you go take action on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
simple.
The other thing, every other day I'm on social media, Laura, there's always some person who says, "Oh, in 30 days I can conquer AI," and I'm thinking, I can't even figure out where to plug my webcam in, and you're going to teach me how to conquer AI in 30 days. Like, what can they? What's most important for someone who doesn't even know how to set up a store, but they have an idea?
So first step, having an idea is always the greatest starting point. Second, make sure you avoid the shoulds.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now. This is something I learned the hard way. I pivoted out of corporate America into entrepreneur land. And for some strange, dumb reason, I just felt I knew nothing the minute I hit entrepreneur land. And so I allowed people to should on me, which allowed me to should on myself. Oh, I know I should do this. I should do this. I'm going to ruin it for you. So spoiler alert, you should do nothing. What you need to do is listen to your inner voice. Okay. I have an alignment method. I'm going to give you the 3 steps of the alignment method. Whether you're contemplating being an entrepreneur, whether you're a corporate professional, it doesn't matter. This thing works like a champ. This is how you avoid the shoulds. So step 1 is identify. Step 2 is create. And step 3 is the most powerful one. Step 3 is love. Identify, create, love. So you identify that I want to start a business for this product. So now you're going to create all of the options and the ways that you could do that. So you're asking for people's advice, which is the question that you asked me. And I'm going to give you ideas, but I just told you not to let me should on you. So you're going to take all of these different ideas. And what you do is then you find the one on a scale of 1 to 10 on the love it like a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, nah, not at all. I don't like zeros. So one. And so then on a 10, oh my gosh, I love it. If on your list there's a 10, now you go execute. You execute that 10, and then once you've executed it for a while, you pause and you rerun the alignment method again, but more in a debrief mode. You identify what went right, what upgrades you make, and you create a list of both, and then what's a 10. Now, when you're in debrief mode, deleting the strategy and never doing it again is part of what you would put on the create list. So don't think it always has to be addition and more. I want you to not let me shit on you on that one. So identify, create, love. Make sure you're touching the thing that you love to do. If something's a 9, so you kind of like it, you figure out what is it that you don't like. Is it the idea or the execution of that? Whatever the thing is that you're doing. Most times people like the idea, they don't like the execution of something. So, for example, I created an AI assessment when I was launching my new program. I'm like, yes, I love this. It was a 10 across the board. I launched it. I was like, this is fantastic. Someone took it. We had the call. It worked. And I got them as a client. They've been a client for the past 2 years. I have never run that assessment again. Because in my debrief, when I reran my alignment method, the execution of that assessment and scoring it was horrible. I hated it. Like if I could put a 0 on it, I would have. That's how I disliked it. I deleted, I never did it again. But I said, okay, what did I like? What could I do? And I created something different. So here's the thing. Believe you can do it. Use the alignment method. Don't let anyone shit on you. And then get to doing. Done is better than perfect, and it's not a nose job. So I launched my assessment. I did it. It wasn't a nose job. I decided to change my mind. You can change your mind too. And change your mind based on data. And then, okay, what's the next data? And so that is what I would say to the person that is, if you're listening and you're thinking, this is my idea, or man, I can't see that for me, must be nice. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the same thing that my now husband told me when I first met him. And he said, oh, I forget what he was telling me he was doing. At the time, I was a caregiver for my dad. I was the financial caregiver while he was, and my mom was the physical caregiver while he was battling cancer. And I forget what fun excursion he was doing. My response was, must be nice. His comeback to me was, why can't it be nice for you? Blink, 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 blink. I didn't have an answer. I had no idea. And so I want you to learn from me. It can be nice for you. What would it need to look like for it to be nice? Okay. And what help would you need to get along the way? That's the other thing. Don't do it alone. Get help. I tried to DIY do it myself. Please don't do that. That's so much stress. Don't let the stress commando give you stress. Don't DIY it. You can bootstrap it. That's different. You can bootstrap it. Don't DIY it.
We're giving you permission, y'all, to explore and play and set up a safe environment for yourself when you do it, okay? We're not asking you to become like the next, what is it, Richard Simmons, or whatever it is that you want to do, where he's out there working so hard to keep the energy up. You can put in placement things so that it is fun for you. Right? When you start going on those calls with Laura every second Friday and you go to that link and then you just quickly check in and see what's going on, right? You start to get a feeling over time, this is for me and I want to explore it. And then you can set up a call with Laura and then, explore more, right? And if this is, again, you all know you have that class from me at danceandheal.com for you to even feel like you could physically push the button and dial in the information to launch onto her Zoom every second Friday, right? Because some of us, we are stuck in freeze and that's normal, right? And now that you know that you're stuck in freeze, you do need to then get yourself out of freeze. We rarely acknowledge that we came out of the panini. That's what I call the COVID lockdown, Laura.
I love that you
Right?
say that.
Right? We came out of the panini, and there's different definitions of whether or not it's over for some of us. I come from a family that is we're really compromised in our immune system. So I have all these safety mechanisms set up so my son doesn't go in the hospital. He has type 1 diabetes. So, irregardless of that, we survived this global event that will go down in the history books. And a lot of us, whether or not you're aware of it, we're stuck in some trauma response to that. And one of the quickest ways to heal is movement, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your spirit or your energy. And this is why Laura's here. I hope you got an infusion of energy just from that little spigot of Laura's talking about it, that there's no shoulds, right? And that we're reminding you that the way to grow is to explore.
Absolutely. Where I would give an add-on, if I may, Jenny, is I have an approach. And in addition to the alignment method, I would tell you the next thing to look at is really take full embrace of my stupid, simple approach. So you've loved something out of 10. I told you about my assessment. I didn't love it. And I was like, no, I don't love this as a lead magnet or to talk to people. And it's not a nose job. But here's the question I asked. Okay, what don't I love? I didn't love the execution of it. I love the conversation. I love that it led to a client. There were so many things that I did love about it, but I didn't like the execution, the scoring of it. It was ridiculous. So I thought, okay, where's the more stupid, simple version of this? When I pivoted into entrepreneur land from corporate America, I was looking for the simple because it was right after my dad had died. And so I was looking for the simple solutions. And that is what the Stress Commando was really all about. Fast forward, after 14 years of doing that, I get diagnosed with two autoimmune and Lyme. So I understand being compromised post panini, as you say it, post panini, which I love. So now all of a sudden, my simple tips were not simple enough. I couldn't execute them. Talk about freeze. Huh. I was really stuck. And at the time, I was speaking on stages, keynote, it was a lot of the house. I was now homebound. What do I do? I could not have held a conversation like this on Zoom. Couldn't. I just, and I could go down that rabbit hole of it. But I realized in that moment, I needed to find stupid simple. So the blessing for all of my clients is I had to go from simple to stupid simple. And 3 years after diagnosis, COVID hit. I still was coming out of everything, and I'm still mostly homebound. But everybody was in a space, and they are post panini, as you're talking about, in still a mode of stupid simple. There's still a lot of overwhelm out there. Stress is no longer stress; it's burnout, which is the more severe version of it. And so we really are having to look for the more stupid simple. So I want to give you guys permission, as much as you have the ability, that yes, it can be for you. Always know there's a more stupid simple solution. And even if you think you have found the more stupid simple solution, you execute it and you're like, yeah, no, that still isn't it. There's always a more stupid simple solution. And that's what I love. And it's one of the things that my clients are really reflecting back to me. So when you go rogue with me, I'm always looking for the idea, but I'm looking for where do you love it at a 10, because I won't shit on you. If you're like, Laura, that's a 10 for me, I'm going to be like, great. I may give you guidance for execution for success, but I want you to go get to doing. And then you can come back and ask, say, all right, that now is a 1. And here's what makes it a 1. It's not a nose job. I need the more stupid, simple version of this. Great. Let's figure that out. So just be resilient, know that you can figure it out, and know that you're not etching this in stone. It's not a nose job. And I think for me, that took too long because I still had it in my head, that corporate mindset that I'm going to mess up my career and that's it, I'm out. Your reputational capital, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but at the time I was too young because they told me I was too young, the wrong gender and the wrong minority. And the minute you lost your reputational capital, you were out. There was no second chance. And so I took that very not healthy mindset into entrepreneur land. Guys, there's all kinds of chances in entrepreneur land. And the reality is there's all kinds of chances in corporate too. I had it wrong. I had it wrong. My experience had taught me that, but I had it wrong. And so you do not need to live a stressful life. You don't need to lead a life leading towards burnout. You can find stupid simple.
I love the grace that you reminded everyone to give themselves. You know how we're always, I'm not going to do that. People can be much
Sure.
harder on themselves than when they give other people grace, but in reality, they are just as hard on other people. They're just not being open about it because we're so, that person's so hard on themselves. I'm speaking from personal experience, right? Being Asian, I'm really good at that perfect face. I'll like, oh, you're doing great. And in my head, what the hell are you doing? But I won't say it to you because
Yep.
right? I'm too polite per se, versus my mom will just be like, "Hey, you're getting some weight," right to my face, and and that's
Ouch.
their form of love, right?
Right, right, right.
Because culturally they're doing that for your health, even if they're not doing it in a nice way per se. Where are you not giving yourself grace, my wonderful audience? There's a reason why you're actually on this particular podcast interview with Laura. So, what is the lesson or the little ding in the back of your head that you're maybe ignoring from this particular conversation? If something like you get a little goosebumps, some chills, or you maybe get a thud in your gut, or you feel something itch that never itched before. We don't need to talk about where. Now is the time for you to pull the trigger, even if it's not with either of us. If there's been a curiosity about something you want to explore and it pops into your head, go explore it. Or you're in something and you're being asked by your body through some of these messages to stop doing it because it's not to your
100%.
best good, right?
100%.
In previous episodes, Laura, we talk about and explore muscle testing or ways to communicate with your body. And so I really love this reminder from you that it's really important for them to check in and also be okay with letting go of iterations of themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, muscle testing, all of those types of modalities are part of why I'm able to have this conversation with you right now and being here. But to your point, and I love that you said giving grace. One of the best phrases that just kind of stuck me. So the past 3 years have been another evolution of the PhD of stress that I have as a stress commando. Yeah, you're always just, it's another layer, it's another onion, right? And so my husband had to take off work for mental health. And I, at the same time, started realizing my mother was going downhill, and I was not in a place physically to become the breadwinner. My business wasn't ready there yet, but all of a sudden it needed to be instantly. Okay, breathe. Where's the stupid simple? I know how to do this. I'm doing this for my clients. It's time for me to not be the cobbler with bad shoes. What do I need to do first? Great. That's what I'm going to go do. And so things moved on, and I'm helping my husband, helping, my mom, I'm helping myself. And then my mom gets diagnosed with cancer. So let me just pause for a second. My dad got cancer at the most stressed out time of his life. I don't believe by coincidence. And I realized I inherited more than his curly hair. That was a mirror into my future if I didn't adjust the way I was working in corporate America. Number one. Fast forward to mom. Mom gets cancer at the most angst and anxiety ridden time of her life. It is not lost on me on the message that's being told to me through my parents' DNA. Hello, stress, anxiety, you need to really manage that. And so, one of the things that my mom's friend, when my mom got diagnosed and we were moving and transitioning her to end of life, her mom's friend sent us daily handwritten cards. It was the most beautiful gift. But in every card, and this is the message I want you to take away, she's like, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And I loved that because to your point, we're always so hard on ourselves. I'm incredibly hard on myself. And I needed to be gentle with myself. And was reminded by another friend of mine, you treat other people how to treat you by how you treat you. And people will be hard on you if you're hard on you. But the more impactful thing is I'm giving permission. If I'm hard on me, I'm giving permission to you, Jenny, to be hard on you. I'm giving to you, the listener, permission for you to be hard on you. And that's not okay with me. I would not give you that advice. So it is my responsibility to choose to set a different example, which means I have to be gentle with myself. And so, what does that look like? And where can I, with all the chaos of what was going on, where's the stupid simple of that? Where I could do that, set a behavior, and keep moving forward. And so you can do it. There's always a way to do it. You may not be able to see it. You may need help, and you've got access to ask a question to myself or to you, Jenny. But you can put yourself on an island of alone, or you can ask a question and lean in and take the life raft off the island of alone by being gentle with yourself and realize you don't need to do it alone.
Absolutely. I mean, being a breast cancer survivor, when I was diagnosed, I was at the height of growing my fusion belly dance career. I had been to Germany, I was winning competitions. On the outside, I looked really healthy. We were coming off the back end of my husband's out of the blue abdominal surgery from his
Mhm.
cancer from years before, right? And my son, who had been diagnosed with type 1, we were nearing about the third and a half anniversary of his diagnosis with type 1 diabetes. So I hadn't slept in 3 years, but I looked on the outside like I was super
Mhm.
healthy, not realizing that I was on a high trajectory towards ill health, dis-ease, right? Instead of disease, that's where I was if I were to go back and feel what my body felt. You may on the outside look like you have it all together, and deep inside, you know you don't. And this is the
Correct.
time to give yourself that grace and to also ask for help. That's the biggest thing, right? You don't have to do it alone, folks. That's why people like Laura and I are doing what we do.
100%. Yeah, most people don't know what it takes to show up like this, or that most times my pain level is very high, or the cognitive challenges, I will smile and nod because I want to show up positively. Another phrase one of my clients had said to me, and I'll be honest, I mean, safe space, right, Jenny? So I can be
Yeah,
honest.
let's do it.
This was early on in corporate land, but then it carried into entrepreneur land. People would say, "You have such contagious energy." And early on, I associated that in a negative way for just a variety of different reasons, but I kept hearing it. You have contagious energy. And I felt like I had to dampen that because I was always told I was too loud, I talked too fast, etc. And I realized that wasn't said as a negative. It was actually said as a positive. I was hearing it as a negative, but it was being said as a positive. So I decided the first thing I could do to be gentle with myself was to lean into that. And so I started saying, I have contagious energy. And I do. It is who I am. Does it mean that it goes 24/7? No. Will I always give you 100% of what I have? Yes, of what I have. 100% will be variable. I guarantee you my 100% before this Zoom is going to be less than my 100% after this Zoom, after I've done the energy expense. And that's true for all of us. And so I will always give you the 100%. But lean into what you're hearing and receive it as the gift it's meant to be. And it is a version of grace. It's a version of being gentle with yourself so that you know. So Go Rogue with Laura was given to me by a client. Anything that I've identified with have been things given to me. And instead of dismissing them or saying, oh, but I got that on sale, like I'm dismissing it, right? Oh, that's a pretty tough, but I got it on sale, as opposed to just saying, thank you. I've received those compliments and went, okay, there's something here. I need to lean into this. So if someone's giving you a compliment or something's tugging at your heartstrings, it's the same type of thing. Lean into it. It's another version of grace. And being gentle with yourself. There's a reason that's tugging at you. There's a reason that's being reflected back to you. And so run with it. See what happens. Like Jenny was saying, explore.
Oh, I think that's a good way to end it, folks. We're going to have Laura back because we actually spoke for a good almost hour before I hit the record button. So there's a lot to be discussed and shared with you. This
Yeah.
is just the tip of the iceberg. Laura, thank you so much for coming and sharing with my family your perspective and your stories.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for listening and being open to receive and being gentle with yourself.
We'll see you all next time. Bye bye. Thanks for listening to the Dance to Heal podcast with Jenny C. Cohen. Come back next time to hear stories of inspiring triumph and learn more ways that you can heal yourself. To work with me and continue your journey, visit danceandheal.com. Are you ready to move?